Yada-da-da-da-dum. Yada-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da-dum. Yada-da-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da-da-dum. Yaba-ba-hi-da-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da. Yada-da-hi-da-da-da-da-da. Yada-da-da-da. L'shem yichud kushabrichu ushchinte hineni muchan umizuman lekayem mitzvat haseh shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer. Good evening, Erev Tov. It is good to be back with you tonight after a long day of, I don't know, I'm not sure what this day was really. All I could say is I'm glad it's over. Nothing horrific, just like it was just one of those days. Started out pretty good, actually. One of my brother's childhood friends reached out last night about Hebrew school for his children, well, specifically for his daughter, but overall for his family, I guess we should say. And but I should call his wife. You know, it's one of those. It was comical. I didn't even know. I mean, I know he has a wife and I know he has kids, but I don't know anything more than that. So I spoke with her this morning, which was lovely. They live in the area. All of those great connections of very long ago, like from my own childhood. And so that was a great conversation. Caught up with some rabbi colleagues, friends. Was a secret reader at Ellis's school. Noticed that he got bit during some time outside and by another child. Nobody noticed. So like that was that, dealing with that. Had some students, had some Hebrew school, came home. You know, this was just like a day. It was just like a nonstop kind of day. But you know what? The gratitude in the day is that, hey, it was another day, right? It was another day to live. Pesach Sheni, as we're closing that out, which we talked about this morning, was about this idea of second chances or like redoing it. Oh, you missed Pesach or you couldn't really fulfill the mitzvah associated with it. Well, hey, you got this one day chance to go back and fulfill that, which is the reminder that, you know what, in life we have second chances and sometimes we need them, sometimes we don't. Sometimes a situation presents itself and you're not perfectly comfortable with the way it went. And so, all right, you give it another try. And so that was our reminder. And so I don't know what your day was like, but maybe your day was awesome. Maybe your day was difficult. Maybe your day was somewhere in between. But when we can find those moments of gratitude is the realization that, you know what, being humble, especially closing out this day of Chesed Shebahod, realizing that there's a place for love within humility, and most often that is within your own self-gratitude. And so as we end this day together, we say, Magadlu ma'asechaya, me'od amku machshavotecha. How great is the unfolding of all life. How deep the mystery. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. I don't know what more to say. Life is a mystery. We connect to the mystery that is keeping the weaving going of humanity, of creation, of just our existence and presence in this world. Weather-wise, yes, another beautiful day. It was actually gorgeous today. The allergies, I can do a little bit without that. But yes, the temperature, the color of the sky, the clouds that were hardly there, the sun that was shining, the birds that were chirping, absolutely a place for gratitude for sure. as we close out this day, we hope and pray that whatever forgiveness there needs to be, that whoever did it to us or whoever we did it to, whether we spoke it or acted on it or however it came across, whether we did it accidentally or willfully, may we and they and all of us together be forgiven as we hope and pray that compassion and kindness will continue to guide us. And so here we are in this week of Hod. We're only one day in, and now we finished one day and we're going to go to the next. But before we do, we have to do the blessing. But here's the reminder. This is the week of Hod, the week of presence and gratitude, the week of humility, the week of simplicity, the week of majesty and awe and glory, the week where we remind ourselves of our connection with the mystery, connection with oneness, connection that says, hey, wait, you're here for a higher purpose. To be in the presence, to be in the present, to give thanks, to opening our hearts up to the glory of each moment, no matter what comes, that we can meet it with presence and with gratitude, with simplicity and with humility. So let's do the blessing. Let's count the day and let's get to work. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer Hayom shloshim yom shehem arba'a shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. This is the 13th day, totaling 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer, completing 4 weeks and being in a place of second day. Here we are. This is all we have left. Why is this not straight? There we go. We've done all this work together, and here we are. Look at this. So uneven. Okay. Slide this thing over. It's a little bit of OCD that comes to be. Anyway, when it's not perfect, I'm going to be okay with it. Here we go. Let's work. Week of Hod. We are on the 30th day. 30th day of the 49 days, the 50th day being Shavuot, the day where we have revelation for self, for Torah, for tradition, for lifting up that which is. And on day 30 talks about Gevura Shebahod, strength within presence. Gevura, the strength, the resistance, the discernment, the discipline, the boundaries. But almost always Gevura meaning strength. Strength within the presence that is humility and gratitude, places of simplicity. The strength and the humility to meet whatever life brings with kavod. The word kavod is one of these Hebrew words that is often used at funerals. It's often used in classrooms. It's often used when lifting up tradition, to talk about honoring someone. In a classroom, kavod meaning, hey, wait a second, respect that which is going on around you with your peers or your teacher, whatever that is. In funeral settings, it's, the kavod of we're lifting up the soul of whoever it is that is has died, and we're giving them honor. So honor or respect. And so the strength and humility to meet whatever life brings you with honor and with respect. Practices and disciplines support our efforts and help guide our way. Things are going to come. Whether we like them, whether we don't like them, whether we're ready for them or not. And we've been talking a lot about, at least since yesterday, but of course, in each week where Hod shows up for itself, we've been talking about this idea of not letting humility cause us not to act when we should. Like being humble is one thing, but when you should have a voice, silencing that voice is actually detrimental. And so staying silent when we should be speaking up or speaking out when we should be quieting ourselves, this balance, disciplined humility is actually a practice in itself. And so it looks like acknowledging when to act and how to act in those moments. It's a practice that we can't forget to be grateful and humble, but it needs intentional practice, right? You can't assume that these things are going to just happen by their own, because they don't. We can all say that we're so grateful, right? We're so grateful, but if we're not talking about the gratitude that we have, then it's showing up the same way. But if we don't call attention and awareness to it, are we actually feeling the connection to it? Is it in our awareness, I guess is the better way to say it. Part of our prayer practice is the morning blessings in the morning. And so often we say things like, these are the set of blessings that go unnoticed sometimes. We all have the things that we're thankful for. Oh, I have another day. Oh, my kids are great. Oh, I'm so grateful for my job. The weather is beautiful, whatever the things are. But there's a formula to it. To say that, you know what? The blessings that we truly have in our life often go unnoticed. Often we take them for granted until all of a sudden they might not be there in the same form. And then all of a sudden we're grateful for that thing because it was either watered down, lessened, absent, changed up on us, something situationally changed, and then it's like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that XYZ. But if something's not going on in our life, then perhaps we're missing that blessing just because we take it for granted. It's going to be there. All right, it'll be there. So we have to remind ourselves continually that commitment to the realization that in order to just be humble, to be in the presence of oneness, takes discipline. It's still going to take us work. We're still going to have to realize that, you know what? We need strength to be humble. We need strength, Gevura, in the week of Hod, because we need to be reminded that, you know what? Simple things like realizing our own presence in the world takes practice. Realizing that the simplicity of the boundaries that we have to set have to be noted. This is work. It doesn't feel like it because we don't really call awareness to it. But when we're counting the Omer and we're doing this spiritual work, it's what puts us in our place, which realigns us to say, hey, wait a second, where are the places that we need to think about these things? So as I said yesterday, the next couple of days at least are going to be, for some of us, the sitting down and quieting our minds for a moment, which is really hard for a lot of us. I won't call you out, Rach, but if you've ever been around Rachel Meltzer, she can do like 90 things at one time with 90 lists of what she's doing, but like to sit down and quiet your mind is hard. It's probably less hard now because she's back to being an educator and like life is different. But before that, she's balancing 90 kids, the husband, the in-laws, may their memory be for blessing, worrying about her mom, worrying about her dad, like all of these things, right? We all have these lives. So this week has a lot of sitting and breathing. It's hard. And so we're going to do it a little bit to the best that we can individually. So whether you're going to sit for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, Commit to it first. Start the breathing process. I like square breathing. It works best for me. I can hold my breath for a pretty long time, so my seconds might be longer than yours, but start with 3 seconds or 4 seconds. It doesn't matter. Breathing in for whatever number of seconds it is, let's say 4. Breathing in for 4, holding that breath inside for 4 seconds, letting it go for 4 seconds, and holding yourself empty for 4 seconds. A couple of times, just to like set your space. As we imagine our breath entering our bodies, moving from our noses, or unless we're mouth breathers, but moving from the head, we'll just say, heading down the neck, imagine the breath filling your arms and your legs, feeling the sensation of life going through you. And the vehicle that is moving through you is that which is air, that which is the life source that keeps us alive. And it's going through and it's working its way through your body. And then we say, life flows from the highest will. That's Psalm 30 on day 30, is to imagine yourself literally taking in the life flow, which in its most simple form is air. You can't breathe without it, right? That is your life form. Life flows, literally, air, oxygen, is flowing into you from the highest will. Continue repeating it to yourself. Life flows from the highest will with each and every breath. Your mind is going to wander. You're going to call your attention back to it like, hey, wait a second, I'm only sitting here for 2 minutes. Let me be focused on just the breathing. The idea that in order for us to be alive, in order for us to have the strength that we need to be present within the presence of oneness, we need to be breathing. And that air and that oxygen that's coming from that life force, which is the highest will, which is we're willing to take that risk and use the strength that we have to allow that air to flow into our body, that the oxygen can enrich who we are, and we can get rid of what we don't need and throw it back into the world. Practice the breathing. Practice the idea of life is flowing within me, that which is the air we breathe, coming from the highest will. Together we choose a path of faith, whatever that is. Your faith tradition, we have people of all faiths and no faith here that show up each and every night of counting the Omer, like they wait the whole year long. I mean, they catch little glimpses of things throughout the year. The things they like, the things that call them, whatever that is. And then it's Omer time and they're here and they're ready to do the work. And so together we're choosing this path of faith, even if your faith is Omer for right now. And we practice because that's what we do. So we choose the path of faith and we place our practices, all the work that we do, before me. I know I have to do this work and I'm putting it in front. I'm making it purposeful. I'm doing it with intention so that, God willing, it will guide my way. It will guide your way. And it will guide our way. That's a verse 30, because it's not Psalm 30. Psalm 119, verse 30 says, but we're going to use we. We choose the path of faith and we place our practices before us to guide the way. Together, the way that we're moving is a way of guided light and guided love. And so, with you, Rabbi Jay, Elisa, Linda, Samantha, and Donna, Amy, Bet, Debbie, Margaret, Tamara, somebody else on here, Rach. Yeah, you have to go back. Of course you do, but you're here. What a good girl. I even talked about you. We're here. Let's continue to put the practice before us in our presence so that we can have the strength to move forward, to be more humble, to be more present within the presence. For we are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you. Remember, tomorrow we have a bat mitzvah of Alexa Newman, and so that will be at 10 o'clock. So if you're looking for us at 9:30, you'll be looking alone. So don't do that. Join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our morning prayer connection for Thursday. It just happens to be a bat mitzvah, and it'll be at 10 a.m. And then, of course, I'll be back here tomorrow night at 9:30. Lila Tov, everyone. Let's keep doing the work. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai. Laila Tov, everyone. Oh, losing at Mahjong. Make sure you watch it some other time. I know you will. You're not going to give up on counting the Omer, Linda. Have a great night, everyone.